Welcome back to Game 2 of the Academy World Finals. Crumbs, surprising absolutely no one in our first game. Someday, still a terror.
Some of us thought that it wasn't going to be so one-sided when it comes to Someday getting ahead of Darshan. Darshan had former experience. It is only one game, and Darshan did beat him when they played in the regular season. But, you know, there was almost no interaction between them in the laning phase. But somehow, some way, Someday found a 650 gold bounty, found the last team fight, found constant plays to make, and he was, again, a huge factor for the Thieves. There's almost no way of shutting him down because what he does is just being really subtly good, fundamentally finding good ways of playing the side lanes, finding good opportunities to even collapse against Darshan, and better yet, having a very, very deep champion pool. It was Vladimir in this game.
Yeah, and I think where Golden Guardians maybe tried to find some of those advantages was in the bot lane. They picked Morgana Caitlyn, a very aggressive 2v2 duo that can apply a ton of pressure. But to the Thieves' credit, they counterpicked the Karma to help with the matchup in support, along with Prismal Xayah, and they played it out beautifully. I mean, a lot of the action was nowhere near top lane for either of these teams.
Yeah.
It was in the bot lane, and Thieves did very well to navigate, a tough 15 minutes.
They did not succumb to picking Rakan against Morgana like a madman would, but instead, this must be a huge, huge bout of confidence for them because Prismal and Stunt are essentially just beating LCS bottom laners here. Olay, just last split, was playing on the LCS, and even this one, right? Being able to kind of back and forth with the Golden Guardians Academy team, and Keith having plenty of experience there. So this is a huge game for them moving forward.
I mean, Keith is the only Academy champion among any of these 10 players. Granted, Sunday has titles in LCK, Olay has more than one LCS trophy. There are a lot of accolades. Tosh has too.
Yeah.
There are a lot of accolades for a lot of these players. But yeah, you're right. The Golden Guardians bottom lane is very decorated, especially down here for Academy. Demonstrating that, they can be battled with here with Stunt, who's had some LCS time, but not too much, and Prismal, who's still a rookie.
And let's see now what the Thieves do with this Silas pick, because the two biggest ticket items were that the Ezreal is no longer banned. It was banned game 1 by the Golden Guardians, and Renekton as well for Someday. It was his pick of choice. I see you big-eyed at the Irelia pick. What's up?
I was waiting for Sedwani. Oh, she's banned. There we go. I figured it out. I was like, surely you don't pick Ezreal here, but I'll take Ezreal instead. So
You thought it was going to be an Irelia Sejuani combination.
I mean, it is known, but that's noted. Sedwani.
Oh, this is obviously Renekton at least for 100 Thieves here, right? You're going to do that and match Irelia every step of the way and see, all right, is it going to be Palafox or Darshan? It doesn't matter. This is what 100 Thieves has been so good all year long.
Curious to see what counterpick Palafox has here potentially for the Silas, because he played it very well in the last game despite the loss for Golden Guardians. Now has to go up against it himself there. Soligo has done well on the champion, certainly creative, and kind of uses more of Silas's utility to guide his team through fights.
Okay, jungler.
Yeah, wanting to make sure they get a pick this time. Again, ton of jungle bans in phase 2 in the last game, so
that is actually what Golden Glue had suggested for Golden Guardians, giving Hard a champion with a little bit more agency to make plays early on the map, contrasted to the Skarner. But I really worry for Golden Guardians here, because if you're fighting early game fire against 100 Thieves, at least Renekton combination, listen, this is a matchup that teams legitimately test out and come to conclusions that you just can't survive it. You cannot survive this tower dive. In fact, that's why Akali was banned. That was the answer that Cloud9 had against the Renekton Elise. You can use Shroud to buy some time, and then when you knock away champions like Gangplank that can get out of the stun lock, it makes it so much harder for Golden Guardians to draft something that is not going to be the Irelia in a very tough position.
Golden Guardians are trying to attack Prismal's champions here. Going to ban out Kai'Sa now as their next one. And Sivir going to follow along, so dwindling options there in the bottom lane for 100 Thieves. See if the Thieves want to ban another potential top laner there.
You know, Tristana seems like a pretty powerful pick here for 100 Thieves. You can pick it in the bottom lane, right? It's not like it's a must-be solo laner. Just today in the Fnatic versus Splice matchup, it was ran in the bottom lane, and it was legendary, right? You can't argue with that.
Keith, just hovering Ashe. I don't think they'll be selecting the champion here. Gnar would be an interesting one. Yeah, Gnar into Renekton. I feel like there's a lot of volatility there, potentially.
It is. When you turn Mini Gnar, you're gonna get...
You're food.
Yeah.
Mini Gnar.
Yeah, actually.
I guess we'll see. Curious to see how that shakes out. Also of note, the mid lane matchup's already decided. So Palafox will be playing Aurelia there. Lucian Braum, the last 2 picks here for 100 Thieves Academy, getting aggressive here in the 2v2.
I love the 100 Thieves draft. This is so much early game power. They are going to come out swinging. And when you have the Sylas, you do have a little bit more flexibility in how you close out by stealing all these crazy ultimates that you can work with. I mean, just crazy. You've got Gnar ultimate to play with. You've got Rakan, which is always a good one. Jarvan. And if that wasn't enough, the Aurelia ultimate can also be really nice for you.
Oh, Aurelia ulti is real nice. You don't get the resets, but oh boy, does the damage conversion work out nicely in your favor. Unsurprisingly, or maybe surprising to some, Aurelia ult has a pretty nice AP ratio. So when you're building AP and you Aurelia ult 5 people,
not necessary. Who did that?
I've seen Crown do it. This split, I think.
No, who put the AP ratio in there? That's what I'm saying. Who did that?
You know, gotta give him benefit when he steals the
Right.
tanky ultis. Something, Silas.
Give him more volatility with the build, right? Let Aurelia be who she wants to be. If she wants to be a Nashor's Tooth champion,
I'm
she
down.
can be.
All right, well, see if Palafox has anything in reserve for the builds. I'm going to say highly unlikely on that one, but it is nice to see Soligo taking this champion away from Palafox and forcing him onto a different pick. Certainly, Aurelia is a champion that can go off in games when she gets a lead. And Palafox was trying to make plays and did so successfully in a lot of moments in the last game, so it could be another opportunity for him to step up and really take over this game, especially alongside Hard, who may be even more active than he was in the last game here on Jarvan versus the Skarner.
Palafox will definitely need Hard to be in his corner every second because this matchup, Sylas against Aurelia, it plays out like an assassin matchup in that the second you start getting ahead, you completely shut down your counterpart. It becomes very difficult for your opponent to bounce back in the game because you have no way of really safe farming. Every time you queue in as Aurelia, you are in danger of getting engaged on by the Sylas. So we look for Elise and Jarvan to be very active in the solo lanes this game, making sure that nobody falls too far behind. Or on the flip side, you get your own laners as far ahead as possible.
I mean, you already said it. Renekton Elise is a combination 100 Thieves has shown off a few times already this split. So expecting a lot of action in the top half of the map, and we already saw fireworks in bottom lane, just in the 2v2s in and amongst themselves. And I'm happy to report that at least one Ignite has been brought to the bottom lane. Ole gonna have it this time on the Rakan.
Yeah, the exhaust. It's not what you wanted to see, but when you're up against Aurelia, you have to think big. And thinking outside a laning phase is how you do that, and exhaust is a lot better against her than Ignite.
Yeah, Stunt, can't remember what champions he was playing against, but he has run Exhaust Braum already in the postseason, and he was on point.
It's very
His
good
exhaust.
because it allows you to actually close the gap in those few moments to get those extra autos and actually lock somebody down as a stun. So chaining exhaust to stun is something that's very possible.
Flagged.
Something's fine. Dodges the Q from Darshan.
Darshan's still going though, about to proc grasp. One more auto needed. Ooh, over the wrong way, kind of. Hard. He's gonna commit to this steal. Someday gonna try and make him pay, but has to slap the dice out of there.
He outplayed them already. It's 2 minutes in and he already outplayed them. Now he's actually going to get to lane faster and might ding some creeps. Yet Darshan actually missed out on experience. He's getting zoned. You got outplayed by Someday. Congratulations.
Someday still going in again. Hard is here though. Someday gonna be forced to go back towards the tower. Hard being level 2 means Someday finally has to let up the aggression.
He actually also started dash, which makes him a lot harder for Jarvan to gank and consider even going for a level 2 gank here. So all in all, he played that phenomenally.
And you know, for how volatile it can be playing Gnar into something like Renekton Elise, you can see the benefit or the thought behind the pick here for Golden Guardians, because much like Little Teemo, if you can keep Renekton away from you and keep chipping away, it is awfully frustrating as Renekton to just constantly being poked down by ranged champions. Nice stun from Palafox. Doesn't have Ignite though, but might not need it. Gonna force the flash under the tower. He goes! And that's first blood for Golden Guardians.
Whoa, that is so close, but now both mid laners do not have flash. They both have teleport. The action continues. Which jungler makes it to mid first? Because blood is already on the walls.
Soligo died first, so he makes it back first. So Ting's 3 gonna force Palafox to play back just a little bit. Prismal and Stunt investigating the blue side jungle. We'll see the Grump and the blue are both up. In fact, with the Scryer's Bloom, get info about the entire right-hand side of the map. But let's watch this one again. Palafox just going in this 1v1.
So let's see, because he doesn't actually have his full stacks all active right away, but he does so much damage once he procs it at the very end.
Just went for it. Probably knew that was a one-way trip, but one he was happy to take, collecting an extra gold for himself and, you know, sending a message at least here in the mid lane. Soligo, though, has built up a pretty big minion wave here, so Palafox will just be forced to play back and take the minions out for the time being.
First blood is first blood, and if that was a 1v1 rule, it would be Palafox that actually won that contest, so I can totally see why he goes for that.
Might there from Ander. Hard did not have his. That will be forced away here by the Elise. Darshan returning to top lane. 2 Dorans now for the Gnar.
He really wants to make sure that he can dominate this lane, but the odds are stacked against him. It's just so hard. We have yet to see anybody do it, actually. 1v1 beat Someday.
Conqueror proc, gonna try and dodge around the Hyper proc. Actually wears off. Someday keep fighting. Good hop there from Darshan. Gonna keep kiting around. Q not gonna connect as Darshan getting a lot of mileage out of this. Flash, W stun there from Someday. Knows he has to fight his way out of there. Here comes Ander up as well. Someday gonna eat the last auto. Darshan able to get it. Transform not there. Ander will find the counter kill.
What happened to that cocoon? Did it miss, or did Darshan flash forward out of it?
Find out in a moment. As even Keith and Ole wanting to get things done here in the bottom lane up a little bit as the wave crashes in. Even Soligo and Palafox still fighting after the first blood. It's action everywhere, Crumbs, but let's take another look at the top lane.
All right, let's see, because we can see that Someday is actually playing this and wanting to trade a lot against Darshan because his jungler is on this side of the map. He's just clearing Scuttler, so he's expecting the Elise to make her way up here. He's buying all this time. Worst case scenario, Darshan would take a dive, but Darshan does a really nice job in just trading so much against him. Let's see if he flashed the cocoon. Oh, he didn't even chuck it out, actually. He flash W'd as the Elise. There was no cocoon to flash.
Didn't exactly check the minion positioning. Maybe a blockage issue, but regardless, well played by Darshan to get himself a 1v1 kill, even though Ander will answer. Darshan, again, trying to show off why he wanted this pick here in the lane. It's hard roaming up to the top side. Gonna try and make it a second kill onto Someday. Almost ready with the transform. Gonna force Someday to dash away, but hard. That could be the signal to go in here. Surely Someday knows something's up. Oh, now he definitely knows. It's hard. Gonna slap down the control ward.
I think at level 6, I would have to favor 100 Thieves in this 2v2, just because of the extra sustain that Someday would have, as well as AoE damage.
Stun and Ole also being quite active here in this early game. Second time I've seen Ole near mid, Stun counter roams just to make sure nothing else happens. And Prismal is, as a result, kind of eating maybe a few too many Mystic shots here. Good block from Stun. They want to go in onto Ole, but have not seemingly been able to find aggression in the isolated 2v2. And they're going to make the difference. Ole gets away. Flash order there from Prismal. Going to make it look like almost a 2v2 kill. Prismal still going in, but Keith firing back.
And the Elise is still here, and she has not been spotted. Golden Guardians is about to get ganked.
Keith going in. They're going to wait patiently here. Ole likely the target. They're going to go back in, stunt low, but here's Ander. Ole goes in. Keith's going to be the target. Actually, they find the chain CC, and Ander able to get that kill down. Now needs to apply the last auto for the stun. Concussing blows is enough. A great transform there for the Elise to ensure the double kill.
And the bait was so good from the 100 Thieves bottom lane, pretending to be chunked away and defending a ward with all they've got. But the Elise snuck into the Dragon Pit with the Blast Cone, had the control ward to make it in, and in the end, the bait of a losing bottom lane turns into a 2-for-0.
So again, and I assume called down here. Stunt says maybe we can get a stun. Golden Guardians playing up and aggressive. You can see why they wanted to.
Yeah, Elise is right there. He's not flashing because he's crazy and really believes that he can take down Ole here. He's buying time for Elise to move up. And so they respond thinking the wave is crashing. Surely this must be the best time to harass if I'm Ezreal and I can have him under the tower. But the second that the exhaust comes out of Braum, you know you're done goofed.
And I love this little thing as well. WW, transform, range auto. Making sure that stun lands, and a 3-0 now on the Elise.
You know, that was actually a huge mistake from the Golden Guardians bottom lane because they had sight of both Palafox and Hard roaming to the opposite team's blue buff. So they knew that their jungler and mid lane were spending time in the cross side of the map. So they needed to play safe and wait out the Elise to show up. By not doing so, they gave so much to the 100 Thieves because Golden Guardians did not get a return kill on Sunday.
And whatever lead Keith was building there in the mid lane has effectively all but evaporated here. As Ander tries to find a cocoon, but Palafox knows what's up. Make sure to queue away to a minion for safety. As this time it's Hard's turn to try and have a crack at this bottom lane.
Here goes another gank in the top lane. Let's see if they can catch Darshan. He's really fast though.
Yeah, hyper procking. Darshan, no flash. Gets chilling smoke. Great juke though, but Darshan still going to get dove on. Ander not able to complete it, however.
He's dead if that hits, by the way, because someday we'll definitely close that gap.
Stun lands, Palafox going in, but Soligo just going to steal the ulti and maybe try and make something happen. Vanguard's edge popped, stun in there, forcing the flash away. Stun barely going to miss there from Silas.
Ooh, just some good side steps have actually prevented 2 deaths for Golden Guardians, which would have put 100 Thieves even further ahead. So the mechanics of these players are definitely coming into play in this final series.
TP in from Palafox. Ander and Soligo team up to try and take some of that Raptor camp. Stun also maintaining his position here in mid. Does force Ole to roam up as well, but Mountain Drake gonna get started here. Golden Guardians really forcing themselves onto this objective.
So they know that Soligo just used his ultimate and Palafox still has his available. So I think they're kind of banking on that, but Golden Guardians is a lot more grouped up here. They will have to fight on 2 fronts. Let's see what they do.
Oh, Hot doesn't have Smite. And Ander just used his, so this could get tricky. Prismal gonna get jumped on. See you later. Keith able to get that kill. 100 Thieves trying to zerg down the Mountain Drake, but don't have Smite either, so it's gonna be a scrap here. Hard still doesn't have it. Soligo able to seal it and dashes over the wall to safety. Here's Darshan though, ready with the ulti, almost charged up. Hard does not pull the trigger on Cataclysm, doesn't have it. Darshan in, good stun from Ander. Ole though finds the double knock up there with the W, so that's stun dead as a result. And Palafox barely misses the follow-up stun onto Soligo.
That's a great chase by them, but why is Darshan down here committing to so much? Now Someday gets 2 plates in the top lane. He's gonna get even more. And that's a huge victory for the Thieves because, yes, you lost 2 members, you lost the bottom lane, but you ended up taking the Mountain Dragon out of all things. So they notice that they're fighting on 2 fronts like we set up the stage, and the engage is good, but this is just such a bizarre series of events. They're trying to finish it without Smite against a team that doesn't have Smite either, that can't steal.
And they do get it, but then the chase is on from Golden Guardians. Stun kind of giving up his life at this point. Ander with a really good stunner to Darshan, but Ole just nails them in the backline.
Yeah, I'm just curious to see what the aftermath is going to be from Darshan roaming to that, because he did not pick up a kill. He only got an assist out of that, and Someday continue to build gold in the top lane. The gold is actually only 300, so yeah, it's about 2 plates.
Yeah, Someday did get a couple plates there. 2v2 Brewing again. Here's Darshan. Missed. Oh, he actually does get the stun. Excuse me, into the wall he goes, but Hard and Ander are busy fighting on the other side, and Hard is losing hard. Someday able to get that kill. Now Darshan going to get followed up on the double wallop, though. He's going to get both, and Darshan just going to try and fight his way out of there, but Ander dancing around, going to miss the cocoon. I think was predicting the flash, but Darshan flashes in, doesn't get the last auto there, but here comes Palafox to try and turn the tides of battle. Soligo, though, also roaming up. Ander, not a lot of safety left. Palafox just W's him to death. And that'll be all she wrote on that play. Darshan with some fancy feet there.
The 2v2 power of the 100 Thieves is so strong here because Elise can single-handedly take out Hard. Even though it is a red Smite jungler, Elise is just too strong. She had 3 kills.
And Someday does TP back into the top lane, has not completed a full item just yet, although Darshan hasn't either. Not a particularly big amount of distance between the 2 laners right now. But Someday wanting to keep on the pressure. And I think we have seen significantly more attention top lane this game. Last game was surprisingly just a little deserted island where they were farming up and trading back and forth. This time, wanting to get both junglers involved here.
It's easier to get involved in the top lane when the mid lane is so active as well, right? So you have a much easier time as a jungler creating your routes from base to say, you know what, I'm going to just spend my time in the top part of the map, and I can bounce around mid and top easily and be very effective this way. We got another dive coming, taking advantage of Someday. He doesn't have his ultimate up yet, and he doesn't risk it.
Here's Palafox as well, so really nice amount of pressure applied here by Golden Guardians. 100 Thieves will respond, but not before Darshan can get a couple plates for himself. Stun from Someday there onto Minina, but no real follow-up available as blue buff goes over. Not sure who got it. I think it's hard, but he has to get out with the buff to really claim it. Flash Cataclysm onto Palafox, and repels in. Someday goes over, and that's going to be Aurelia left out to dry. Does get one kill for the trouble, but shut down by Soligo in the process.
That's huge, though. He got a 1v3 return kill out of all things considered, and you got Soligo's flash because he had to do Flash Cataclysm to catch you out. So Palafox is having a really good series. Remember his Silas game in game one where he was so aggressive? You can really tell this player wants it.
And playing well. As you mentioned, we'll watch this one again, though. Contest for the blue buff attempted here by Golden Guardians. Don't want to roam up top lane for nothing.
So he lands a nice little stun here that actually catches both and prevents a bit of the initial follow-up from both these teams, which actually is exactly why the Silas had to use Flash Cataclysm to catch them out.
Nice work from Palafox there to at least get one back. But Soligo does collect a bit of extra gold as a result. You can see the plates between the two teams this go around. Slightly up 100 Thieves, taking 5-3. Gives them 300-ish extra gold. Rift Herald also on the mine still, despite the plates no longer being available. Palafox going to eat that cocoon. Shelly's going to go back to pit. And this game has been very different than game one. We had a lot more early opening up of the map. We've had a similar amount of action, I will say. I think both games had about 12 kills at 15 minutes. Oh, what a cocoon. Ole going to be forced to flash.
That's a big deal. We got Infernal coming up. Rakan not having his own ultimate. I think Golden Guardians now has to give up this Infernal and try to get a Rift Herald. You already have Hard in the top part of the map.
Darshan just harassing Someday there. Minina timer was ticking down. Just wanted to use the ulti. Not going to the Drake anyway, because teleports are available and not even going to have a chance to get it. 100 Thieves first to the scene to take that Drake away.
Superior Dragon Control, 2 games in a row, right? Having the first 2 in game 1, first 2 here. And this time, for running an early game composition, they will be rewarded with the 2 best dragons you're going to get out of that, Mountain and Fire.
First tower nice as well. Rift Herald was channeled there by Hard in top lane to give Darshan a bit of extra gold. Again, no bonus gold there, no plate gold either. Someday going to have to fend off a second charge from Shelly. Make quick work of this wave, knowing right now that his team is playing on the other side of the map.
All right, so now where does the 100 Thieves bottom lane go? Because they can continue to just put them in the mid lane like you do with any other bottom laner and go for 1-3-1s, but that does put Anda kind of spread away from both solo lanes, so they will have to isolate one, which is probably going to be Soligo, and they're going to go help out Someday, which is exactly what is going to happen. Yes, Soligo to the bottom lane, and at the top of mid.
Yeah, both mid laners have their teleport right now, so it can join any cross-map play that may open up. Someday also going to finally recall by his first item there to finish up the Spear of Trojan. Darshan also with his own Black Cleaver, and a Negatron Cloak to boot. Trying to ward off some of the Elise/Silas damage that could come in. We're probably going to see a bit of a delay until the next Drake comes up. Ole does do some damage to Stump, but Prismal able to get that ward as he dashes over the wall with the double shot.
Look at this in the map. You got Someday roaming in. So Darshan does not have teleport. It looks like the Renekton is already here. 100 Thieves looking to fight.
Golden Guardian's going to see him now. Soligo, though, back from a reset in base. Not sure how aggressive 100 Thieves are willing to be here. Looks like somebody kind of buying time between waves, as top is a very long lane for him at the moment. Just waiting for Darshan to push that one back in. Gonna take some jungle while he's at it. And kindly donates his camp over.
It would do really well for the 100 Thieves to take down Darshan's turret in the top lane. And if you can crack mid lane, even better, but...
Keith, oh, culling! Shut down there for Prismal, gets him with the last bullet in the string.
He's getting caught out too many times.
On Ezreal, never something you want to see. Prismal still fighting, flashes on top of Darshan, gets himself charmed by Rakan, and that move comes ill-advised. The stunt gonna try and save Anda. Cataclysm tries to catch two, Anda will flash away. Stasis there, Someday roaming in, but he's gonna be too late to save start. Darshan just smashes him into the wall.
That's a really good return kill by the Golden Guardians, and now they're thinking of maybe diving Someday, not gonna go for it. But the fact that you actually salvaged the play from Keith is a huge deal.
Someday in there, Spear of Trojan active. Ultimate ticking away, he's so powerful. Is Soligo gonna TP back in? What ulti can he steal? Not in range just yet. 100 Thieves is gonna force his TP and keep slamming down mid lane.
And now the Lucian is teleporting to the top lane, so they are gonna be responding with the bigger objective control out of this. They are turning this play around, having that teleport advantage. So a really well thought out teleport by them. Now Someday is up here, and we have Baron coming up in a minute. This means that with a Mountain Dragon, you get a fight like that, you get that teleport advantage, that's Baron, and that snowballs the game.
This is such a good 2v1 play here from 100 Thieves. I mean, Keith, there's no world where he thinks he's gonna die here.
Which is just, it's a curse of Ezreal at this point, right? How many times do we see Ezreal get caught out? The carry that is picked for being the least, I guess, caught outable of marksmen. But a really nice collapse from the bottom side. Remember that the reason why Keith was out there feeling confident is because his bottom lane and his top laner had been in the river. They were setting up vision and trying to allow Palafox to split push like he is now.
Continuing to play aggressive as well on the Golden Guardian side as they invade through this red buff. Ole gonna try a cheeky steal, almost gets it. Not able to quite do enough damage with the Q as Palafox finishes off the bottom outer tower as well. Gold is even once again between these two teams. You saw Baron break the game open last time after a nice team fight for 100 Thieves. And as you mentioned with the Mountain there, Crumbs, that threat very real once again.
Yeah, Elise is really dangerous at taking down that objective. One of the better junglers at it, not only for being able to tank it, but with the percent damage.
Hard on Anda once again. Potential 1v1 on the horizon. Anda has won most of them.
Look at that. Darshan actually has a 900 gold lead over on Someday. And Nar is one of his preferred picks. We'll see him build up Rage and maybe look into teleport. There's only a ward in the bottom try here for Golden Guardians to go for it. But for only a Cloud Dragon, if you don't have the perfect ward, no point.
Yeah. Darshan just going to hold his TP and pressure into the top lane, try and maybe get a tier 2 as Golden Guardians will have their counter push pushed away by Prismal. He's forced to use his ultimate. Ooh, good ult. Darshan needs the one last auto on the tower, but he's not going to get it now. And is he going to maybe chase him down? Spear of Trojan activated as Someday pops the ulti. Golden Guardians are TPing in. Here's the rest of the Thieves, but now being chased by Ole and Keith. Prismal maybe going to get shot down here. A very messy fight as Anda is able to slay Palafox. Into stasis goes Anda, saves himself for a little while longer. 2 kills already on the Thieves, but they have to run away towards the towers of Golden Guardians.
They are chasing. They think they can take this, but Someday still has his cooldown.
Health bar so low. Someday still threatening, but he's out of ulti, out of a spear. Hard just assassinates Prismal with the flag. And Andy gonna go down as well, try and find his way out, but a double kill over to the jungler. Golden Guardians able to answer back.
Yeah, that is a really bizarre fight because you also had Soligo coming in from the back. It felt like if the 100 Thieves did a better job at stalling out, maybe Soligo could have gotten in the mix. He does have flash, right? He can steal a big ultimate here. But we're gonna instead take a look at how this all played out because we had a battle on 2 fronts. The interesting one is here at the blue buff because they catch out the entire bottom lane out. And they're so chunked, but the Unbreakable does such a nice job in stalling out that they get to group up. And let's see how they could have done. I mean, they're so low. It's such a tough call at this point. You know, getting kind of corralled like this is a really tricky position to play. But I would have at least liked to have seen an attempt.
Try and get out with minimal losses. So 2 sacrifice to the rest of Golden Guardians there. Evens up the kills in that exchange. Golden Guardians actually up in gold by almost 1,000, but this is very close between the two sides. It is just those Drakes, 100 Thieves, that may be reflecting any sort of other advantage in the game.
Well, the Golden Guardian squad really needs Key to level up and have a lot of items, because he's going to be dealing most of the magic damage. Yes, you have Conqueror on the Aurelia, who does a fair bit of true damage, but everybody on the Thieves is started to stack armor. You've got Ninja Tabis, you've got the Hourglasses, you even have the Knight's Vow about to come out from stun, so they really need him to be the source of magic damage to be able to finish down these armor stacking targets.
It's aggressive on the Keith again, Prismal and stun, as 100 Thieves try and take down that ever-present pesky mid-outer tower. Of note, Prismal actually has not gone Blade of the Ruin King this game. When Essence Reaver Infinity Edge, sorry, significantly better late game, or more late game build, I should say, for Lucian than your typical aggressive Blade of the Ruin King plus Black Cleaver opener.
When you're up against an Aurelia that is really scary, you want to be just as scary fighting back. Hitting her with those big crit items is one way to do that.
You definitely know you're going to be team fighting at some point in this game. That's just the Thieves' way at this point.
Fighting over the next Infernal is what is on the chopping block.
They also got really good at 4v4s and 4v3s somehow.
Yeah, they're a good team.
Yeah, I think it has something to do with Sunday never being with him because he's always pushing a side lane.
And he now has a bounty, so it's happened again, even though he is behind in CS and likely to actually be behind in gold.
Still a bit behind in gold.
Yeah, he does have that bounty. The most mysterious system to ever grace Runeterra.
Well, for all the power in the Renekton, for all the side lane pressure, jokingly alluded to, that Sunday has applied game in, game out. More than capable of team fighting with this champion as well. That's something we've consistently seen from the Thieves, as they do fancy a good 5v5. Dashan though, oh, Blade of the Ruin King popped. He is playing to win this lane. If there's anyone that should not be leaving the side lane very often, it is Dashan. No.
This is his classic build. He loves going for the Blade of the Ruin King, Black Cleaver. Gnar build is so obnoxious because you have 2 sources of percent max HP against a beat boy like Renekton. Playing the side lane as Gnar build, though, you really have to make sure that you're in mini form a lot more of the time, because that's where you get most of your damage against tanks.
I get it. I also enjoy winning my lane, but can't have this stuff happen. Dashan going to get trained down by Ander. Pops out of there. Oh, max range Cocoon, not quite enough. And now Golden Guardian's going to counter-engage. On they go into the front sail onto stun. Prismal, though, just pops Olay. Cataclysm in from hard. Pops the stone plate. Ulti there, not quite able to pick off stun. And that's a shutdown onto the Jarvan. And with enough execute damage as Someday now spinning in. Vanguard's Edge stolen. Soligo clips them both. Through the wall they go, taking so much damage. And they'll chase down a 4th kill in that exchange. 100 Thieves win the team fight with aplomb.
And they didn't lose a single member doing that. They're going straight to Baron, screw the Infernal. And if you take a look at how this fight started, you could see from a mile away that the 100 Thieves are going to win it. They use every bit of CC on the Braum, the tankiest member. He had Unbreakable, he had a Guardian. Buys just enough time for the rest of the team to collapse. And they don't even get to take down the Braum.
And then again, this ulti from Soligo, oh,
beautiful. He even got Keith his flash out of that.
And as we come back, unsurprisingly, 100 Thieves have finished off the Baron. It is just the Infernal Drake that maybe can still be contested. Dashan staying out on the map, trying to apply some pressure in that area, but 100 Thieves will reset with the Baron, go back and be willing to fight for this objective as well.
They have a almost 4,000 gold lead now, so they are definitely in the driver's seat. 3 items completed for most members. Looks like the fight's about to start.
Olay finds 2. Good charm in the front side to start it off. Prismal getting low but not dead. Andrew on a killing spree as they just can't kill this Braum. Now Someday gonna open up in the backline. A massive charm from Soligo again on the Silas. Steals the perfect ulti and a 4.
That's it.
Yeah.
They're gonna end. You got 30 seconds, you've got Empowered Baron, 5 members alive and well, and even someday with a teleport.
It is only Keith left to try and defend an onslaught from 100 Thieves, looking to take a 2-0 lead in this game, in this series, excuse me. Keith gets out of the cocoon, but Stun puts up the shield, doesn't even block the true shot barrage, I think. But the minions stay alive, they'll zerk down the turrets. Keith forced off his own structures as 100 Thieves, just running the same script twice. They'll take the Nexus once more in game number 2.
It doesn't matter if you come out with the flexibility because 100 Thieves is unbreakable with this strategy. They have been so good at pulling off Renekton Elise. Regular season, playoffs, finals, it doesn't matter. It always works for them.
Yeah, that's the kind of game that won Ando Player of the Series in their quarterfinal matchup. 9-3-5 at the end of that game. Everywhere, it felt like, on that map.
And we're in match point. You know, we're out there just getting your popcorn, getting ready to watch a series and thinking, all right, it's going to be a big one. 2-0.
Yeah.
Like that.
And that's how decisively the games are ending. Is I think the thing that shocked me most. Or maybe just how willing the Thieves are to match aggression for aggression when Golden Guardians try and throw a few punches. Because you see them trying things. Like, it's not like Golden Guardians are just slowly losing the game and not doing anything. They're a very proactive team, and they've been willing to make plays and make engages. But 100 Thieves are right there saying, you know what? You're going to make some plays. Here's one better.
And, you know, they make plays, but the draft backs it up too, because I think that they've come out ahead 2 games in a row so far. And you have the Braum, which is such a big pick against these melee bruisers that want to get in your face, but also complements them really well when you have them on your team. Irelia trying to dive anybody with a Braum is nearly impossible because she obviously wants to be avoiding skill shots. But when all it takes is Braum to attack you and you're stunned, you lose the entire power that is Aurelia's mobility.
Stunning first 2 games there. But to give us a breakdown of that game, let's throw it back over to the analysts.
Breakdown we will, Pastry. 2-0, pushing us to match point already within the series. 100 Thieves they had elected to go to blue side for this second game. So I want to take a look at how they utilized that blue side priority and first pick.
Yeah, I think the first pick, Silas, is strong, a little bit of flexibility, but you mostly know it's going to Soligo, and you're saying like Palafox doesn't play anything aggressive enough to really punish it. They tried to match that with the Aurelia and kind of get that, but then I liked 100 Thieves' answer of just, you know, taking their top and jungle kind of blind to just be like, pick something that's good into this, we dare you.
Yep.
Darshan did find something that worked, though.
I mean, Golgo, we opened up game 1 Champion Select, and when you're watching it, Renekton Band came through. You're like, thank you.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to see. But this time around, 100 Thieves is able to secure that Renekton pick in the top lane.
Yeah, I was in the makeup room with the GGS guys when they're getting ready, and I was like, there's one thing I want to tell you guys. Ban Renekton. And when I saw that first ban, I'm like, nice, good job. Seeing the draft here, when I saw Renekton Elise, we basically, when we played 100 Thieves, we banned Elise throughout the whole set because their ability to camp a lane and have so much jungle pressure with their strong laner of Someday is, like, it's really hard to play against. So I really like 100 Thieves draft. They first picked Silas. They answered with Irelia, but it's actually really hard to play the game as Irelia into Renekton Elise. So I don't really know what GGS was going for. They looked for like strong lanes, but if you looked into the entire game, like you're not really gonna be able to convert on like you solo killed mid at 3 minutes. What does that turn into?
Right. Yeah, and all of that again comes back to this idea of the Elise in the jungle, right? An aggressive early game champion that when she starts to pick up that early gold can really start to run amok. A quick 3-0 scoreline for Anda within the early portions of this game.
Yeah, I want to give a lot of props to Darshan though. He came out with this Gnar pick that's not necessarily meta right now. It's kind of a very niche pick. And he played it versus Renekton Elise. If I see a mini Gnar under turret versus Renekton Elise, you're gonna die like 7 times in a row. But Darshan was trading kills, he was pressuring, and they really didn't like abuse Renekton Elise like very much, but it didn't really matter.
Yeah, I mean, Elise still found kills in the bot lane, did a good job of kind of getting a lead. It did slow down a little bit, and that's where I think, you know, Darshan deserves a lot of credit because he didn't allow Renekton Elise to win the game. Yeah, they won the game, but they weren't why, like that combination wasn't why they won the game. They just won with him on their team.
Right, without a doubt. Again, I think it is important to acknowledge that Golden Guardians did not just roll over and die.
No,
not only did Darshan play it well within the matchup, isolated to the top lane, as a whole, Golden Guardians found a couple moments where they were able to take winning fights. But I think there is there are a couple keys, again, to why 100 Thieves ultimately came out on top. First and foremost would be this 26-minute fight, 4-for-0, in the bot lane that will transition all the way across map into a Baron.
It's one of those plays you kind of get baited into where you're like, oh, they tried to make a play on our top laner, now we get to react and try and punish them, but they just chased a little bit too far forward in that brush. They don't actually ever convert into any of their kills. Now they've kind of used all their cooldowns on the early part of the fight without finding anyone.
Yeah, they really just don't have enough damage to take down this Renekton. He's just running at people, stunning them, and I do think they have 3 dragons at this point. They have an Infernal and a Cloud, and Mountain doesn't help in the fight, but the one thing that's really standing out to me is 100 Thieves dragon control, because during this game, it was back and forth. I wasn't really sure who was going to win. Like, some fights 100 Thieves was winning, some fights GGS was winning.
Right.
But the one thing 100 Thieves always had going for them was the dragons, and I feel like I want to see more priority on the dragons by GGS next game, because they're just getting so many free stats for no reason.
The only objective they were able to pick up in this game was the Rift Herald. You saw the 3 Drakes on that graphic just there. They foregoed the 4th dragon because they got the winning fight when setting up around it.
Yeah, and neither team is playing like super clean. Like, you know how we say this game is close? It's not close due to inactivity. Both teams are making plays. Keith got picked off in the mid lane, and then 100 Thieves tried to pressure around mid. They got flanked and collapsed on, and then the next time it's Golden Guardians pushing up mid, then Someday gets flanked. There's this series of plays in the mid lane where both teams are trying their best to make advantages, and that's where the consistency of Drake control becomes really important. You're not consistently outplaying your opponent, but if you have better objective control, you lean on that.
Therefore, you have more resources, right? You can lean on that.
It was a proper North American A-round.
I was going to say it.
We do go to series point here for 100 Thieves, but Golden Guardians does have side selection, so no surprise they hop back over to blue side. We've just been flip-flopping this whole time. But both of these 2 games, we have slightly favored the 100 Thieves draft. And so I want to know, what does Golden Guardians have to put together for us to come out of the draft saying this is a winning draft, or at least setting them up with an advantage from champion select forward?
That's hard. I don't actually know what the solution
do they
is.
even have the tools?
Yeah. I'm surprised. Okay, we actually haven't seen a 0 vs core key. We haven't seen that
That's
yet.
a good point. Yeah.
I want to see. I kind of want to see GGS pick something that scales a bit better. I want to go away from these melee mid laners. I want to see a carry that can just go even and then play the game out, and you can team fight late game and see who wins, right? Because right now it's kind of like you're picking something that wants to pressure early. You're pressuring a bit, you're not getting much, right? What happens if you go to a scaling matchup? I mean, that's what we did. I played Corki versus Zero, I think, when we played, and it was going pretty well. We didn't win the second game we tried it, but it definitely was a better look for us.
Yeah, without a doubt. Mark, any thoughts there?
No, that's kind of what I was saying a little bit earlier, where they keep playing like aggressive and somewhat skilly matchups in the mid lane. It was Sligo on the Azir in game 1, which is why I'm a little concerned that they'd be willing to just be like, okay, yeah, we'll go passive in mid lane, and then we think we'll have more playmaking with Onda and Someday. But they got to try something different now, because they're not converting these leads in mid ever.
That's it. The series is on the line, so you got to pull out all the stops here going into the 3rd game of the day. 100 Thieves Academy are on the verge of sweeping their way to their very first title. With the championship on the line, can the Golden Guardians bounce back? The Academy World Finals continues when we return.
Powerful doesn't have Ignite though, but might not need it. Gonna force the flash under the tower. He goes, and that's first blood for Golden Guardians.
Ezreal. Okay, this should kill. Okay, carrying. I got him. You got him? Yeah. Looking up. Lucian. All right, really good. Keep going. I'm walking over. No TP. I'm coming.
They're stolen. Saligo clips them both through the wall. They go, taking so much damage, and they'll chase down a 4th kill.
J4. I'm on the back line. Kick win. Laka. Yeah. Looks good.
We can end.
I'm sorry, guys. I did not mean to get engaged.